So how are you
Definitely.
today? Let's talk a
I'm doing
little bit.
well. Yes, I'm doing well. Very busy, but I'm doing well.
Yeah, I
Just got
see.
done training.
Okay, cool, cool. So how are you feeling? Like you're almost there, a couple more
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah, I feel good. The diet's pretty tough. I haven't had a diet in a long time, so I mean, I love it though. It feels good to actually be getting to the right weight, and I feel great. But it's definitely something I haven't experienced in probably like 5 or 6 years. This strict of a diet.
Yeah. Okay. Now because now we're getting into good details, and I'm like, this is good interview stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, you were at Tallahassee, weren't you? I swear I thought
I
you
was there. I was not
were at.
fighting, but I was in the crowd. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was a
yeah, yeah.
spectator that night.
I knew I saw you there because I mean I was everywhere all over that venue,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I was like, I know I've seen him before. And so
yeah,
then
yeah,
I was like, okay, great, he's fighting on this card, even better.
yeah, yeah. It's been a while, but I try to at least go to most of the combat nights.
Yeah.
I've been fighting with them for a long time, and even just being a spectator, being a fan is a great time at that show. And I've seen the organization grow so much. I've been fighting for them since like Combat Night 5.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, people say the words Combat Night OG pretty
Yeah.
loosely nowadays.
No,
But
no. Yeah,
I
yeah. You're like foundation.
yeah, yeah, I've
Foundation.
seen them from build from basically the bottom up. So I've been with them for a long time, and what they've done in this period of time has been amazing. And they're just a great promotion.
They are, honestly. I was with Mitch last weekend. We went to a different fight to support Cat, Val, and a bunch of
Yeah,
other
yeah.
mates. And it was a great jujitsu competition. And you know what? To see, I've been to a lot of theirs in different cities too, and I love the different cities. I love seeing all the different types of fighters, um, because this state has amazing fighters. Like
Oh
Florida,
yeah.
the place to be if you're willing to grow in the industry and get to like UFC, get to Bellator, get to Titan, get champion, one champion. And like so I mean, so you said it was like it's been a couple years now that you since you had your last fight. Why? What was that? What was the cause of that?
Yeah. There's a couple reasons I would say. So it's been 2 years. Sorry, Uzi, get down. My dog is
No,
on the
yeah,
table
hey.
right now.
Oh, okay.
I need to get him
Oh,
down.
oh, no,
Uzi.
that's okay. It could be an
Sorry,
interview.
one second.
That's okay. That's all good to me. I'm dog friendly on Lisa with the Z podcast.
Sorry about that.
No, no.
So yeah, a couple reasons. So my last fight, oh my gosh, he's not gonna get down. My last fight was against Cleveland McLean. I'm sure you know who he is.
Yeah, he was last card.
Very good fighter.
Yeah.
One of the best in the world, not just the state, the world at that weight class. And it was a tough fight. And that was my first loss professionally. And otherwise, that was my first loss in about 6 years. So I always knew I was undersized for the division, but that was kind of a humbling experience to just kind of not be able to get the takedowns the way I want to. And I knew I had to go back and kind of fix some things from that fight. And then also just kind of life happened. Like obviously the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
But after the fight, I just kind of I was still training nonstop. I've never stopped training. But after the fight, after the fight, I like had some weddings come up, and there's always something coming up, where training was still going on, but I wasn't in the best shape, and I did want to get stronger from that last fight,
Right.
and get bigger because I have now. I've really focused on my strength and conditioning, and even though I'm going down a weight class now, which is still my natural weight where I should be fighting at, I'm so much stronger than I was 2 years ago. I'm faster. I'm way better. I'm way more of an athlete now than I have been.
And that's great. You know, when sometimes you're gonna win and sometimes you're gonna lose. And some people can learn from their losses and take it in a better direction. And some people can just dwell on that loss. And and it takes time to redevelop yourself after that, to pick up yourself, see what your mistakes were, and then work on those mistakes along the way.
Definitely.
And so now you're ready, you're healthy, you got your meal plan going. And so who initiated the go ahead, the green light to get you on the card for June 5th?
Oh, so I mean, I've been looking for fights, but so kind of some background. The guy I'm fighting I'm fighting at strawweight, 115 pounds, which is very hard to find fights at for a guy. So there's a fighter for him, and I saw him post something probably about 6 or 7 months ago saying anybody at 115 pounds can get it, something like that. So I just DM'd him and I was like, hey man, you're 115 pounds. I know how it's hard to find fights at that weight. I'm ready to go whenever you are. Whenever you turn pro, let me know. And he's like, oh, I want one more fight as an amateur. I want one more fight as an amateur, and then I'm going to turn pro. And then fast forward like 6 months probably, and I get a message from him, and he's like, so are you ready to throw down? And I was like, dude, I told you I was ready whenever you are. So yeah, let's do it. So that kind of worked out, especially because I'm from Jacksonville. So it's just the perfect timing. But I would have fought at 125 pounds someone, I'm sure, on this card at some point, because I love fighting in Jacksonville, being from there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more events probably towards the end of the year, because they start heading back up. Yeah, I know they already scheduled Tallahassee for August.
So and I know they've got a lot more in the works.
Yeah, I mean, so what gym do you represent?
I train out of the Jungle, down in downtown Orlando.
Yeah, the Jungle is notorious for amazing fighters. So
yeah, there's a lot of good talent in there.
Yeah, no doubt, because I remember the Orlando Pro card, man.
Yeah.
That was an incredible night of fights. Of course, one of your teammates was the main card, Santa. And I'll hopefully one day I'll have him on the show. Like that's like a dream of mine too. Yeah. One of my first MMA fights that I've ever watched, like even though it was an amateur card, it was at an XFN fight, and he was on that card. And I remember.
Wow. Yeah, I'm sure he'd love to come on here. So I'll put in a good word for you.
Yeah. So I'm super fan, and my homegirl's a super fan. Like she'll fangirl out if she sees him too.
Yeah, he'll definitely come on here. I'll talk to him tomorrow. Yeah, I'll put in a good word for him tomorrow, and then he'll reach out to you.
Awesome. Yay. But yeah, so of course you guys are a great gym, and I always look forward to seeing the Jungle fighters on any of Combat Night's cards, because I know it's guaranteed going to be fireworks. So
yeah,
I'm definitely looking forward to your fight.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of focus on training, and I'm so busy with other stuff. Like I work so much. I work regular 9 to 5. I'm in the gym at 6 a.m, getting up at 5:15 every day, just getting home from the gym now. So I kind of focus on the fighting, but eventually I'm going to focus more on that. Got fight shirts. This is the first time I made fight shirts for this fight, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love getting fight merch, and then I'll usually wear them on my episodes. I have a couple friends that they've given me their fight shirts, and I just rock it. Or different fight brands too. That's awesome. Bring me one to the to Jacksonville, and I'll definitely be there that night. Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I'm excited. But I appreciate you coming on the show. I'm looking forward to seeing you in action. And I'm honestly,
are you gonna be doing post-fight interviews again?
I'm sorry?
You gonna be doing the post-fight interviews?
I don't know. It depends on what Ramsey sees and what he has planned. I might just be the one that's making sure you guys get out of the cage and
okay.
trust me, like it's a funny position to have.
Yeah.
Because at the moment you guys win, there's like 1,000 people trying to get your attention. You're
Oh yeah.
catching your breath. You're trying to give an interview with Matt first. And then like everybody's yelling to get your attention. And I'm like, and we only have a certain amount of time
Right.
between the next fight and then getting the interview done and getting you guys out and setting up for the next one. And I'm like, you know, I try to go in the locker room before on each side. I'm like, hey, listen, guys, I don't care if your mom, uncle, your sister's the mailman downstairs is here trying to get your attention. Right. We want you in there and we want you out. So you're looking for me out of that cage. So he said that to the last fight, the last group of fighters, and they came looking for me. They were, if they weren't like hurt or the medics were like, hey, let us check them first, which is something that, of course, I don't care. Like medics, you guys got to do what you got to do. We'll be understanding, and then we'll come back to it. But maybe I might do the girl fights because I know there's some ladies fights on this card. But we'll see. We'll see. It should be fun. It should. All right. Be fun.
Well, either way, I'll see you there.
For sure. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah.
All right, I'll put in a word to Santa for you.
Santa, I'm gonna get a Christmas this year from Santa.
That's awesome. All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
I really appreciate it.